This webinar was developed by the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families and the Wisconsin Department of Justice in partnership with the Wisconsin Hotel and Lodging Association to train hotel and motel staff on the indicators of human trafficking. This webinar will help you understand what human trafficking is and how to spot it. Human trafficking is a crime that affects people of all ages and backgrounds. It occurs in many different settings, but one industry with a unique opportunity to fight human trafficking is the hotel industry. You are receiving this training because your employer is committed to making sure human trafficking does not happen in your workplace. The crime of human trafficking can take many forms, including sex trafficking, forced labor, and domestic servitude. This webinar is about sex trafficking. Sex trafficking occurs when a trafficker uses violence, threats, lies, debt bondage, or other forms of coercion to compel adults and children to engage in commercial sex acts against their will. According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, hotels and motels are major locations where traffickers force sex trafficking victims to provide commercial sex to paying customers. Victims may be forced to stay at a hotel or motel where customers come to them, or they are required to go to rooms rented out by the customers. People of all genders, ages, races, and backgrounds can be trafficked. You often cannot tell someone is being trafficked just by looking at them. But we will share some clues to look for later in this training. Anyone under the age of 18 is a minor. Minors are at increased risk of being sex trafficked. Under U.S. federal law and Wisconsin state law, it is a crime to solicit any child for the purpose of commercial sex acts. It is still a crime even if they are not forcing the minor to do so. In Wisconsin, customers who purchase or entice minors to have sex or commit sexual acts can be charged with human trafficking. Traffickers are males and females of all ages, races, and backgrounds. They use people for their own profit. They often rely on legitimate businesses, including hotels, to commit their crimes. They count on the public's lack of knowledge about sex trafficking and the tendency to believe that the victims are engaged in this activity willingly. The industry you work in can help fight trafficking because you are in a position to see and report signs that someone needs help. As mentioned earlier, there is no single profile to look for, but there are indicators that might be a sign that a person is being trafficked. Management asks that you be aware of the following indicators and follow this reporting protocol in situations where you suspect trafficking. All staff should keep a lookout for the following indicators of trafficking. Individuals show signs of fear, anxiety, tension, submission, and/or nervousness. Individuals showing signs of physical abuse, restraint, and/or confinement. Individuals exhibiting evidence of verbal threats, emotional abuse, and/or being treated in a demeaning way. Individuals showing signs of malnourishment, poor hygiene, fatigue, sleep deprivation, untreated illness, injuries, or other unusual behaviors. Individuals lacking freedom of movement or are constantly being monitored. Individuals who avoid eye contact and interaction with others. Individuals who have no control over or possession of money or ID. Individuals who dress inappropriately for their age or have lower quality clothing compared to the others in their party. Individuals who have few or no personal items, such as no luggage or other bags. Individuals who appear to be with a significantly older boyfriend or in the company of older males. A group of girls appearing to be traveling with an older female or older male. Or a group of males or females with identical tattoos in similar locations. This may indicate branding by a trafficker. Each indicator alone may not necessarily mean a person is being trafficked. Housekeeping, maintenance, and other room service staff should look out for the following indicators of trafficking: a Do Not Disturb sign being constantly used, requesting room or housekeeping services such as additional towels or new linens, but denies hotel and motel staff entry into the room, refusal of cleaning services for multiple days, excessive amounts of cash in a room, the smell of bodily fluids and musk, the presence of multiple computers, cell phones, pagers, credit card swipes, or other technology. The same person reserving multiple rooms. Individuals leaving the room infrequently, not at all, or at odd hours. Children's items or clothing are present, but no child is registered with the room. Individuals loitering in hallways or appearing to monitor the area. Excessive amounts of alcohol or illegal drugs in rooms. Evidence of pornography. Minors left alone in the room for long periods of time. An excessive number of people staying in a room. An extended stay with few or no personal possessions. Or provocative clothing and shoes. A constant flow of men into a room at all hours. Excessive amounts of sex paraphernalia in the rooms, such as condoms, lubricants, or lotions. Rooms stocked with merchandise, luggage, mail packages, and purses or wallets with different names. Concierge, bellmen, front desk, security, and valet staff should look out for the following indicators of trafficking: patrons checking into a room who appear distressed or injured, the same person reserving multiple rooms, few or no personal items when checking in, a room paid for with cash or a preloaded credit card, excessive use of hotel computers for adult-oriented or sexually explicit websites, patrons not being forthcoming about full names, their home address, or vehicle information when registering, a minor taking on adult roles or behaving older than their actual age, such as paying the bills or requesting services, patrons appearing with a minor that he or she did not come with originally, rentals of pornography when children are staying in the room, individuals dropped off at the hotel or visiting repeatedly over a period of time, individuals leaving the room infrequently, not at all, or at odd hours, a minor with a patron late at night or during school hours and not on vacation, individuals checking into a room who have no identification. The room is rented hourly, less than a day, or for a long-term stay that does not appear normal. Patrons requesting information or access to adult services or the sex industry. A room rented has fewer beds than patrons. Individuals selling items to or begging from patrons or staff. Individuals who enter or exit through the side or rear entrances instead of the lobby. A car in the parking lot regularly parked backwards so that the license plate is not visible. Food and beverage staff should look for the following indicators of trafficking: a patron entertaining a minor at the bar or restaurant that he or she did not come in with originally, a patron who claims to be an adult although their appearance suggests that he or she is a minor, individuals loitering and soliciting male patrons, individuals waiting at a table or bar and picked up by a male, whether that is the trafficker or a customer, individuals asking staff or patrons for food or money, individuals who take cash or receipts left on tables. Remember that any one indicator does not necessarily mean a person is being trafficked. The overall situation may just seem off. You might notice some indicators, but the suspected victim does not seem distressed at all. Report what you see if you suspect something is wrong, even if you are not sure whether it is actually human trafficking. Do not attempt to intervene or confront a suspected trafficker. This can put you and the person being trafficked at risk. Follow the reporting procedures established by your employer. Your workplace has determined a safe and secure procedure for reporting suspected sex trafficking. You will be given information about reporting procedures at the conclusion of this webinar. Sometimes people hesitate to report suspicious behavior, thinking, "What if I am wrong?" Instead think, "What if I am right?" Your suspicion might bring assistance to a person who needs help. It is okay if your suspicions turn out to be a misunderstanding of the situation. You do not have to be right, just be aware and willing to bring the matter to the attention of others. It is law enforcement's job, not yours, to determine whether human trafficking is occurring. Now that you know some of the signs of sex trafficking, please review your workplace's response protocol for instructions about how to report suspected sex trafficking. Thank you for your attention to this important issue and for being part of the solution.